Why would a religious man like himself be at a party, which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro? Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe, like I said, men on men, women on women.
And I shook my head, not to say that's ridiculous. I shook my head to say, unfortunately, I don't put nothing past nobody no more.
There you go.
I just can't be so disappointed in the people that I've looked up to and found out about their...
So seeing an FBI agent and numerous other officers going in and out of the house that is behind it. You can see the beige complex there. That home, we understand, according to property, it's owned by Sean Combs, or Diddy, as he is known. That property, again, being searched.
The FE'd outcome may lead to significant evidence in Diddy's mansion, potentially damaging Bishop T.D. Jake's image. Jake, who built a music business worth over $1 billion, was recently involved in Lil Rod's lawsuit against the hip-hop mogul. His success was halted when he was sued for drug misuse, assault, and gang rape by Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend, and other women. These high costs have put Jake at the top of the food chain for the rest of his life.
Give God some praise! He's pushing that baby! Come on, he's pushing that baby!
I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like,
And I cut a check for 100, and I'm gonna lay my hands on you.
and then the bitch said, it's on the fucking internet. He's all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out. Birth that baby. Push. I'm like, are we a church? Or is this about to turn like a whole nother scene, like a lost scene from Eyes Wide Shut? Like
50 Cent's image was damaged by a Homeland Security probe into sex trafficking in Miami and Los Angeles, leading to the decision to end the day.
Suits against him, his sons, his associates, affiliated companies, allegations of sexual assault, sex trafficking, physical violence, including involvement in shootings and illegal weapons and narcotics.
Lil Rod has filed a 74-page lawsuit against Diddy, including T.D. Jakes, a well-known religious figure and motivational speaker. Jakes has significant power within his groups and even convinced Wells Fargo to give him a $1 billion donation to create more friendly communities.
If he's going, we know he's going to the Diddy parties, and I know that it's, I know what usually happens at the Diddy party, or told us happened at the Diddy parties. Maybe he needs to see it first, man. Maybe he needs to go there and really be involved in things that could help save some individuals while they going to those parties. Or maybe he just going to, man, it's hard to even talk about. Why would you find a rich man, you know, when you know that the saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners, and how would a religious man like himself be at a party, ain't nothing but sin? It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involved in what is actually going on at the party. You know, I've talked to preachers and I've talked to reverends and priests. They ain't never came to a party with me or nothing like that.
Wells Fargo, a large company, is investing in a project that initially aimed to project an optimistic image, but something was not quite right from the start.
Security searched two of Diddy's homes on March 25th, one on Star Island in Miami and the other in Holmby Hills, California. Since the federal raids that sent shockwaves across the country.
So there's always been this kind of talk about him, but I think it wasn't until recently that people really started to hone in and focus on.
But are criminal charges really on the way?
Anytime you see a raid of this nature, you know, there's an expectation that something's coming. And I'll be frank with you, I still think
the pastor was too proud to ask questions, and the host didn't allow him to remind him that he had no business selecting the company.
A little bit more freakier, you know, as time went on, you know, because they got to the point whereas that they didn't even care It used to be secretly, you know, where people used to go to, you know, rooms and different rooms, and they wasn't doing that out in the public. So, but now they don't care. Men kissing men and all this.
The new administration's attempt to correct wrongs cast doubt on Rodney Jones's relationship with Diddy. Rodney Jones's lawsuit, alleging that Mr. Coleman helped shape Diddy, was the first step in this direction. Diddy's strategy to exploit his friendship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to lessen the negative impact of the Cassie Ventura case on his public persona is detailed. Diddy's visit to the Potter's Dallas house was a carefully thought-out public relations ruse, starting with a photo shoot with Puffy alongside the preacher.
Now, what he's doing is he's making, man, he making the Christians look real bad right about now.
And you been to these parties, right?
Oh yeah, I was there when he was doing the White in the Hamptons and the whole 9 yards, so I know what goes on at the parties.
Diddy, the chairman of Revolt TV, posted a video of him entering a chapel, and the pastor delivered several sermons for the network.
T.D. Jakes Group and Wells Fargo are announcing a 10-year partnership to build communities all income levels. Now, this partnership includes a commitment of up to $1 billion with a B from Wells Fargo to help pay for various projects.
I think it's imperative. The fierce urgency now indicates to us the fact that the future looks very bleak, particularly for minorities, black people, brown people, and also poor white people who are finding it difficult, workforce people, to find a job, to find opportunities, to get housing, to get mobility, to have communities that are built in repressed neighborhoods and revitalize a community, giving the homeowners who live there or who lived in the community a chance to stay there for affordable.
Jake attended Puffy's birthday celebration, despite potential damage to the pastor's reputation. Fans immediately noticed his presence.
He had to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he had to save some souls. I got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy, unless it's
Hollywood is known for its horrifying citizens, but a priest at a party during a conversation on T.D. Jakes' claims to be part of the Moguls and Sane Freak's former bodyguard, Janan Deal, brought up the point that the church had clear standards about what was and wasn't permissible while growing up.
Man, what I think about it is this, you know, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate. So I'm looking at him as saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin. Drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman. He
believes he played a significant role in Revolution TV, despite his seemingly unlikely appearance, and should have seen him in a formal context.
Well, no, it's not. I don't know what they want to do, but it's a donation. It's a commitment to supporting initiatives to raise up communities.
The individual, raised as a Christian, claimed that the preacher's knowledge of Diddy's gatherings was damaging their faith reputation.
Jay, try your best to wind down. When you do your wind down, no matter what, I ain't telling y'all what to do. I'm telling y'all what I do. I can't tell y'all what to do. I ain't gonna lie. I love listening to the whinings.
The deal stated that while he was a bodyguard, homosexual activities were occurring. But after earning an A, one loses these qualifications.
Just in December, they paid a $3.7 billion fine to settle accusations of illegal overdraft fees, illegal fees tied to car loans, illegal fees tied to mortgages. This is money they were taking out of the pockets of low-income people that you're...
He was puzzled by the unusual appearance of a holy man at the gathering.
Reaching out to us for counseling, for prayer, for encouragement, for help, close to Jesus said, go into all the world and preach it for every living creature. We gotta go. We can't just...
The speaker was cautious about the preacher, suggesting that if the government released audio, everyone would know his genuine motivations. He resembled comedian Bernie Mac playing a crafty pastor, and they discussed the awkward situation when Tyler Perry gave his organization a $1 million donation. The speaker was unsure if the preacher took business seriously.
See from you, we need to be transformed and covered by you. So God, I submit myself fully to what you have already predetermined this moment to be. And I ask that you have your way.
The speaker mentions money to explain T.D. Jakes' attendance at a fancy party, hoping it's for the purpose of obtaining the money. 50 Cent exposes why Jay-Z and Diddy are worse than Epstein.
He's spitting high five. Oh, girl, you the one that's high five. If you wasn't my man's mom, I'd tear that ass up. Thank you.
You must be really proud of your son.
Oh, yes, indeed. He's a roughneck that gets his thug on, and he looks like a young Denzel.
Diddy's good days are over, and he may not make it out of this time around due to allegations of drowning in the bad boy Muggle, as even the entertainment industry is unlikely to forgive him.
In a new lawsuit, a fourth lawsuit, that he, Harv Pierre, and another man may have SA'd a woman when she was only 17 years old. 50 Cent is chiming in. If you didn't know this, 50 Cent has been chiming in ever since this whole Cassie lawsuit. He doesn't like Diddy. There are a variety of reasons behind it. So 50 posted this with a couple of photos and said, my God, 17, was no one off limits? This documentary is gonna blow you away. Diddy, do it or not, coming soon. Honestly, the wordplay of Diddy, do it or not is clever as hell. But here's my problem with 50. Anyone doing a documentary on this situation, I would hope, has the sensitivity and the intention of doing good instead of trolling. And he's been accused of trolling Black women specifically. I don't know how I feel about this whole situation with
50 Cent is among those blaming Diddy for his dirty crimes, actively exposing them to the public, and is unlikely to back down from his claims anytime soon.
You're gonna talk about Diddy.
Let's talk about Diddy.
You're gonna talk about him. Let's have it.
I've been talking about him. What
is your take on what's going on right now? And obviously you've been covering it for a while. Is it shocking to you? Is it not shocking to you? Is it right on brand? Thoughts?
I'm not shocked by it, I think. But Diddy is an example. I think he's like a psychopath. He's nasty, perverted. I've heard on drugs. Like, this is what happens. Cassie basically opened the Pandora's box. And there's several victims out there. And he probably, you know, when I describe the psychopath's behavior, it's like they're omnipotent. They think they're godlike. They think they're God and they're untouchable. And I believe he got so bad to the point where he gotten away with so much, even with the Shine situation and avoiding the law and having, you know, that's the guy, the Muhammad guy, head of security, which is tied to Michael Jackson, which is crazy to me. Like, when you get that much power and money and you got people in high places covering for you and doing that, you delude yourself into believing you can do and say whatever you want and get away with it with no consequences or repercussions.
The 50s sold the rights to a documentary titled Dodd, which reveals Diddy's involvement in the murders of Biggie and Tupac, a topic that has been a subject of speculation.
Y'all, 50 Cent is the worst person to beef with. Why did he make a whole documentary on Diddy and sold it to Netflix? It's called Diddy Do It, and why does the flyer and everything look good? Like, this is a mess. And a lot of people ask me why they beefing, and this goes all the way back to the 2000s.
Who shot niggas balls? We don't get them, they gon' kill us all. Man, Puffy know who hit that nigga, man, that nigga saw. He scared them boys from the west side to break them off. Jump on his ass, so we run the hall and shake him off.
So when 50 Cent first came out, he felt like Diddy was not supporting him and not doing things to help him out. And then it got worse when 50 Cent did an interview saying that Diddy tried to take him shopping.
I was like, yo, So, yo, when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like, we can just hang out? We gotta kick it. This is Puff. Okay. He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he's like, yo, why don't we, like, go shopping or some shit? I mean, like, I pay for it. And I was like, what the f*** did you say? I got the f*** away from him because I was like, this nigga just tell me he take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But Puff is a fruit pie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Look, later you gonna find out a little that I be saying.
50 Cent basically called that man a bomb pop. So then after that interview, Diddy said, I'll show you a fruit pop, and he started messing with 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne. 50 Cent said, oh snap, that's your mommy over there with Puffy, LOL, remember what I told you the other day, these girls be crazy, shaking my head. And then Daphne said, please stop doing this to me, I never bother you, and I am an outstanding mother to our son, can we please just focus on this, please? And the baby mama really used to be one of Diddy's diddlers. She said, happy birthday to my favorite person, at Diddy. Like, girl, please. That's why the only Daphne we acknowledge is the one from Scooby-Doo. So Diddy and 50 been beefing for a while, but it got worse when Daphne was found in the documents allegedly helping Diddy at his freaky parties with Young Miami. Allegedly, both of them was getting Diddy dimes and dollars to be his sex workers, which is why 50 Cent filed for full custody of their child and started calling her you little sex worker. He said, you moved a mile away in hopes of having another baby with me, but I was busy. So you moved back and then you started receiving money from Brother Love. Now here we are, you little sex worker. And so now we're here at the Netflix documentary, Diddy Do It, and 50 Cent has not took his foot off of Diddy's neck ever since. And every day since the Cassie video has been a new allegation. This one says Diddy hit with a 2003 sexual assault lawsuit by a model that alleges she was drugged with a lace blunt and forced to perform oral sex, says he told her to suck it. And she says she has the clothes in the bag 21 years later, which is even crazier. Ew. And then today, here's another one. Diddy hit with another sexual assault lawsuit. Woman claims he touched her and forced her to have sex with Kim Porter while he masturbated. And just out of respect for Kim Porter, I'm just not going to speak on this because she's not here anymore. And then 50 said, TMZ used this fat boy picture of me because their doc went to Tubi, LOL. It's okay, guys. We're all making great television. Mine just happens to be the best. Netflix wins the bidding war, but if more victims keep coming out, I'm going to need more episodes. So this whole thing just keeps getting worse and worse. But I just wanted to let y'all know the history of why they're beefing. It's really dumb, but it is what it is. Prayers up for all the victims that are involved, and I'm praying for y'all families.
50 Cent's beef's hatred towards Diddy stems from his knowledge of the rapper's truth about his involvement in Biggie's murder, a fact that has been widely known for a long time.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 9th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff that when people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out. No, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
50 Cent's beef's hatred towards Diddy stems from his knowledge of the rapper's truth about his involvement in Biggie's murder, a fact that has been widely known for a long time.
We just got the Jeffrey Epstein of the music and entertainment industry. The new lawsuit that just dropped against Diddy is massive, and it has photos, it has videos, it names names, and there's so much here that it's never gonna fit into a single video. So I'm gonna do a quick overview in this video, and then I'm gonna do a couple of parts breaking down all the different aspects of what's come out so far. We're talking crime scenes, we're talking photo evidence of celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr., we're talking record label executives, we're talking hidden cameras in every room of the house, getting recordings of celebrities, executives, politicians at parties with celebrities and underage girls, with drinks being spiked, with drugs. This goes all the way back to the murder of Tupac and Biggie. We're talking about the entire rap and hip hop industry and the whole music industry at large. But to be clear, this is just opinions and speculation. These are not statements of fact. When I show sources in the background, like the court case, you should take those for just what they are. I'm not saying that all of this is necessarily real. So what's happened just now is that this man, Rodney Jones, who is a music producer that worked with Sean Combs, who is Diddy, he just filed this lawsuit. And he didn't just file it against Diddy, he filed against the executives at all of the companies associated and against the companies like Universal Music Group. His lawyers claim that he has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Diddy and his staff and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. It's illegal for lawyers to make these claims if they don't have reasonable belief that this evidence is legitimate and exists. They could get disbarred for making these claims if they're not true. And some of that evidence is present in this lawsuit, like when Diddy allegedly shot a man. And then the LAPD saw that room in the photo, the bathroom with all that blood, and were on the scene for hours and no arrests were made. They went with the explanation that Diddy told his staff to give, which was it was a drive-by shooting. Diddy made it clear that his head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people and problems disappear. This guy. And all of Diddy's staff were instructed to contact Mr. Muhammad if they were ever pulled over by the police in Miami or California. Diddy often bragged about having law enforcement under control. Although the deeper you look, the more it looks like people above him and above law enforcement had him under control. We'll go more into these cases in the detailed videos, but now the bigger picture. See, Diddy has been one of the most powerful people in the rap industry ever since the 90s when he founded Bad Boy Records. And he was only 24 when he founded it. He started his career as a non-paid intern at A&R until he was then fired in 1993 when he was 24 and founded his own label, Bad Boy Records, later that year. So how does a 24-year-old found a massive record label on his own? Well, when you dig further, you realize it wasn't on his own. It was with the help of Clive Davis, his mentor. And the further into it all you dig, you realize that Clive Davis came out as gay later on, and there's a lot of rumors that him and Diddy were in a relationship throughout this.
50 Cent was one of the first to publicly discuss his abusive relationship with Cassie. And despite initial resistance, the tide has since turned in favor of his story.
So now he's saying in his documentary, he's going to prove a couple things. One, that Cassie talked to the feds and she turned over some evidence implicating Diddy in Kim Porter's unaliving. And he's saying once this Netflix comes out, there should be no reason why the Kim Porter case shouldn't be reopened. Now,
wow.
Yeah, that's big. Okay. He's also saying that in his documentary, he's going to implicate Diddy in 2 more unalivings. So do I think 50 Cent is out of line by inserting himself into the Diddy situation? I do not. Do I think that there's a reason that he doesn't like Diddy and it's personal and we don't know what it is? I do.
50 Asin stopped taking shots of a Dottie because he wants the world to know the Dottie reality.
When I start talking about Jay-Z, bottom line, you don't have to believe me, believe the facts. Here's a man that wanted to leave Bad Boy. He wanted to do his own thing. He mentioned several times how he was tired of being used and abused, that he was bigger than Bad Boy itself. How I know I was there. Another thing, Jay-Z wanted him out of the industry, period, so he could take over and be the biggest hip-hop artist around. But there's stories that have to be told. The truth needs to come out. A man lost his life.
Diddy exposed himself after posting a video with his adopted white girl, who is now nowhere to be found, leading people to believe he was trafficking her and auctioning her off.
Midnight for dessert? I'm thinking over here we bring out a huge chocolate fondue fountain.
Oh yeah, P. Diddy had his birthday party here a couple years back and he had one of those.
Oh, screw that then. I don't want a fondue fountain if P. Diddy had one.
Does it matter?
Yes, it matters. I don't want to do it if Diddy did it.
How about a donut machine?
Did Diddy do it?
Diddy did do it.
A full ice cream bar.
Diddy did it.
Damn it, what didn't Diddy do?
A Ferrari cake? Diddy didn't do it.
People are questioning the origins of Diddy's scandal and if there is more to his criminal activities than what is known.
Hey, this is the funniest thing online right now. 50 Cent every day wake up and take shots at Diddy on Instagram. We all see that, right? Everybody know that 50 Cent loved to poke fun at Diddy being, you know, who Diddy is, allegedly. But this is funny. 50 reposted this on his Instagram. I guess nowadays, instead of kids saying no HOMO, you know how we used to say when we was kids and now it's pause. I think the new thing that kids are saying, that's what the internet is saying. The new thing kids are saying is no Diddy instead of all that stuff. And 50 posted this. Check this out. This is what people saying on Twitter. It says, I put all my guys in positions, no Diddy. So apparently, instead of saying no HOMO, kids are now saying no Diddy. So 50 reposted this on his Instagram and he captioned it this. This is what he said. He said, oh, I F with son. That's my man. No Diddy. So he trying to use the phrase too. Hey, this is funny, bro. I can see this catching. This is going to be a new trend. I can see people saying this. He said, I'll boom you right now. F out of here. LOL. So obviously 50 think this is funny. I think this is super funny too, bro. What y'all think about this? Y'all going to start saying no Diddy instead of pause?
People are not overlooking the similarities between Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein, and there is still no information on the individuals involved in the crimes on Epstein Island. The extent of Diddy's actions towards women, children, and men is still unknown. 50 was one of the first to publicly call Diddy out, revealing that he once offered to take him shopping, which was his go-to move to pick up guys.
I tell you what, though, who's having a field day with this is 50 Cent. I'm Team 50 all day, every day. Why is it every time 50 comes after somebody, this shit is true? It's almost like he's the real Cleo. Call me now. 50 knows shit that we don't know, and that shit comes to fruition every time. I'm like, all the people he's gone after, it's funny, he's not trolling to troll. He's trolling with the truth. I mean, you got time after time of 50 Cent just being right on the money with shit. And it's just like, oh my God. He's been on Diddy for so long. He's like, yep. And then when Diddy's son came after him, and then who said you can't come after his son? That hold on. Somebody came after 50 and said you got to leave his son out of it. I don't know who did. You guys will tell me in the comments. But he's been from day one the anti-Diddy guy. He's called him out on the homosexual acts. He's called him out on the violence. He's called him out on just being a bad person. And he is having a field day with this. Oh, man, this is really bothering me. But yeah, 50 would be the last person I'd want to be on his bad side because he'd probably find something out on me that I didn't know. I was like, oh, how'd you find that out? He's on it. And let me tell you something. Being someone that's been at not to a Diddy party, been at parties where Diddy was at, been in his presence. He was always cool with me. It's always been high, cordial, you know. Not anymore. I don't want to ever see that dude after that video came out. But even being around 50, now 50's actually come to my shows, supported my career a couple times. But when you're around Diddy, it's like you got a bunch of people doing this and just laughing at all his jokes, even if they're not funny. You know, if he said, look, the sky's green, he'd be like, it is kind of green. It almost feels like people are just kind of there like, please give me some money. Please put me on a record. Please do this. And it just felt like that. When you're a 50, he don't roll super deep. He's got a couple guys with him that you don't want to cross. You don't even know they're in the room. And like everybody seems like they're just chilling, and you can disagree with them on sports. You can disagree with them on politics. You can disagree with them on money issues, family stuff. And he'll just break it down to you, and then he'll listen to you, and then you feel like you're just talking to a guy at a cigar lounge or something. It doesn't feel like you're talking to a mogul, and you don't feel restricted in what you can say around him. You feel like you can say whatever you want around 50 Cent, and he could be like, I don't agree with that, or, yeah, I can see your point in there. Diddy never feels like that. Diddy feels like, I'm just going to fall back and just laugh. And just, that's what it feels like. And this is just me being in the room with these guys and watching how they move and seeing how people react to them. Granted, I don't know either of them that well, but I've had I've actually been in a room and had one-on-one conversation with 50 Cent. Not Diddy, but it always just feels like it's whatever. Never felt that way around Diddy. So yeah, I would say anybody tread lightly if you want to go head-to-head with Diddy. Not Diddy, but 50 Cent. If you want to go head-to-head with somebody, tread lightly if you're trying to go against 50 Cent. Because he's going to find something. I don't know where his Geraldo Rivera ass is getting some of this information. But they say Diddy's not going to go away because he's a DEA, CIA informant, all this other stuff. I don't know if he's an informant, but 50's clearly knows somebody in the CIA, TMZ, BET, People, White House. He's got. I don't know where he's getting his information, but when the shit hits the fan, 9 out of 10, 50 Cent is right every time. I'm like, just sitting there going, when he posts something, I believe it. I'll put it like that. Like when Diddy said he's innocent, I didn't believe it. I was like, I don't know. He's doubling down too hard. When 50 says something, I'm like, I believe that dude. So to anybody out there, tread lightly going against 50 Cent. Because he just keeps climbing. His life, and 50, think about 50 Cent, his life just keeps getting better and better. He's opening up this whole new studio in Shreveport. He's taking over Houston. Yeah, he's just. I mean, I'm looking at this site. The timeline of 50 and Diddy going at it goes back to 2006. 50 Cent's repeatedly claimed that Diddy's fruity through the years. Some of the stuff he's seen on the Breakfast Club and talking about Diddy trying to take him shopping. Look, in September. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, just don't cross 50 Cent.
Diddy's connection to Epstein has sparked discussions, with many referring to him as the Epstein in the music industry due to their early similarities in crimes such as trafficking and secret videotapes.
What would it take for Jay-Z to go down like Diddy did? I don't know. But I got an idea that Evan Rogers is going to help me figure that out.
And who is Evan?
Evan was the producer who only seemed to work on teeny bopper projects, who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some motherfucking niggas you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually trafficked here. Are you saying that
Starting to
that's...
sound that way, don't it? Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore? I mean, who knows?
Jay-Z, along with Diddy, has been involved in similar crimes as Diddy. With his former bodyguard Uncle Rod mentioning his involvement with minors, and using his money to shut him up later on.
There is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years. He's a monster. And I've known he's a monster for years.
Mm-hmm.
I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a cat.
No, girl.
Jaguar Wright, a vocal critic of Diddy's crimes, predicts that the feds will target Jay-Z as a partner in crime once Diddy is out.
Had everybody beefing with you. Anybody did a record with Joe or Ja was beefing with you.
No, listen.
And you pulled it apart. At a time when we could have had unity and everybody came to the marquee artists, did not want to work together.
Check this out. Listen, look. We could not have had unity at that point. See, because we have real issues going on. Things are different in that time span. So what happens is, because Ja and them was successful first, look, Angie, I would watch her when we interview, and she would be uncomfortable. They played Monopoly together and stuff like that. I knew all of it. And she loves Jay-Z.
Why you keep bringing up Hov?
I'm bringing that.
You and Hov never really had a thing.
No, we don't have no problem at all. That's because of Angie. Look, the line that he said with the future line, why did he say that?
I don't even know what you would have done in the future of a nigga playing football with your son.
Why? There was no reason to do that.
Rice G has been on record multiple times to discuss how he is covered for Jay-Z when he has gone too deep into his illegal relationships with underage girls.
But if you go be mad at R. Kelly, you got to be mad at Jay-Z. Foxy Brown said Jay-Z was putting that harsh when she was 15, 16. She said the man got a harsh. That's what that little girl said. She said Jay-Z got a harsh. And he was putting that harsh when we were 15, 16.
I'm young. I've been 14 messing with guys 30 years old. What? Oh, shit. See, that's what I'm saying.
This is normal behavior in the black culture.
According to the blind items, Foxy Brown has allegedly been paid an annual lump sum to keep her mouth shut about things that she knows about Jay-Z. But according to this new blind item, she might have to go under oath in the Tupac trial. And will Jay-Z let that happen? The rumors are this former rapper, who now makes her money via an annual payment from a permanent A-list rapper for keeping her mouth shut, is actually going to have to open said mouth under oath. Will the permanent A-list rapper allow this to happen? And again, this allegedly Foxy Brown.
Jaguar Wright is attempting to expose Jay-Z for being involved in similar issues as Diddy. And like Diddy, 50 Cent has been open about his disdain for Jay-Z and his current persona. Despite Jay-Z's influence on the music industry, V-Sin is not afraid of him, as evidenced by his openness about his disdain for him.
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. Fuck you go when you get fucked over by the industry. Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in.
The entire industry is aware of Jay-Z's affair with Foxy Brown, despite being a full-grown adult, which significantly ruined her career.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch.
I didn't do nothing Puffy did.
Yeah, no, it was just so excitement. There's so much excitement that there was no reason for me to put something in our drink. I need you to remember. I need you to remember this.
Jade Wright argues that Jay's inability to stop his endless affairs with minors has led to the death of multiple innocent women throughout his career.
Hey, did y'all ever see this whenever Diddy went live with this girl right here?
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Eva Baroni Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
In line with this, 50 used this platform to highlight Jay-Z's disappearance from the FBI's radar, as he has something to hide. As the FBI, our Diddy homes now couldn't be used.